Hello and welcome back for our next match, which pits two first-place teams against one another. Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. Drakes are fed and ready to fly. So let's take a look at those starting lineups. Starting blue side, it is Team Liquid. In the top lane, Impact. In the jungle, Xmithie. In the mid lane, Pobelter. The bot lane of Doublelift support Olleh and their coach, Kane.
And that means selecting red side, it's Cloud9. In the top lane, the new rookie, Licorice. Svenskeren in the jungle, Jensen in mid, sneaky bot with support Smoothie, and Coach Reaper.
And you said it there, stucking it there. Not only is this a battle for first, but it's a brawl between two of those consistent teams at the top of the tables, Irene.
In terms of quality of wins, these are the two teams that have the best quality of wins in the LCS so far. TL have ended their last 3 games faster than anyone in the league, and Cloud9 have established map control in all of their matches by being the team that takes the outer 3 turrets the fastest in all of their games.
And a lot of these advantages from both teams just come from the mid lane, which could prove to be the breaking point in this matchup as Pobelter faces off against Jensen.
Man, Pobelter versus Jensen. This is a matchup that in the past has been a little bit hyped, but not as hyped as this year, because Pobelter has just been having a spree. He is performing incredibly well, and Jensen is becoming a more complete mid laner where he's pretty much able to play everything a little less selfish this split and focusing more on the team, whereas Pobelter is now stepping up, communicating with his jungler a little bit more, and also kind of becoming the way that Jensen used to be, where he's a big carry for his team.
Yep, more lane dominant player. His numbers are excellent, but only one of these two teams can win. And briefly, claim sole possession of first.
Yeah, and like you
very
said,
briefly.
Very briefly. But we will see, because TL has a big week, because they play Cloud9 and Echo Fox. TL is in control of their destiny and could have sole possession of first place if they win both their matches this weekend.
Well, see what happens here. But like you said or alluded to earlier, Cloud9 selecting red side here for this draft. So Camille going to kick things off for Liquid.
And this is actually very important because we have given side selection to the teams, and it's whoever, like, we give it kind of in the round robin.
Yep,
one
you get it once,
basically. Other, right? Exactly. 32 games have gone by now, and only 3 teams have selected red side in those 32 games. So Cloud9 have to have something planned here against TL because of that red side selection.
Well, Sejuani the next ban for Liquid, but part of the plan seems to be ban out Pobelter. Azir and Rise taken off early here for Cloud9. 2 very good mages in mid.
Maybe Zoe also joins that ban pile, but there's things like Gangplank that TL would be happy to first pick here.
See what Liquid has for this last ban here. Rakan actually, so mixing it up.
Making sure
jungle and support all banned.
Making sure they don't take Rakan plus Xayah. There's the Zoe that we were talking about. I wonder if Galio Jarvan is something that Cloud9 may go for on their side. And
of course, with Galio being a pretty popular pick, Liquid could also take it here. It's a champion Pobelter has played in the past, back to last year. The champion was very heavily in the meta. Jensen was not really known for his Galio, to be perfectly honest. Did play it a little bit towards the very end of the year, but Pobelter certainly was kind of on that train. He almost always is playing those bigger mid laners, but first pick's actually Gangplank here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, this was something that we were talking about as a potential first pick to come out, because the Gangplank, very high priority, and not a lot of champions do well into it in the first place. And even if you do well or even into Gangplank, he still affects team fights, affects the map, and really does have kind of extra gold.
Reality, it is!
What is going on?
All right, first pick Skarner for Cloud9. I'm sorry to dash to Moxie and Jat, you could not have predicted this coming into the week with your mock draft. My goodness.
Wait. Okay, that was like...
There's Vladimir.
Vladimir into the Gangplank makes sense. You can contest barrels. It's a free lane for the Vladimir and the Gangplank a bit, where you can just use the Monolith champion to bully him. And so we'll see what Licorice can do up against Impact.
Ooh, Null was open as well, so we'll see if maybe there's some flexing going on here for C9, but quick locks here for Liquid, Tristana and Taliyah. Really like that choice from Pobelter. Very safe blind pick mid laner for the most part.
Not just safe, but it affects the bottom lane. Gangplank affects the bottom lane. This is Doublelift on that signature Tristana that he's been favoring so much this split. Right now, he has 3 games on Tristana, and he's only played 6 games total, so half of them on that champion. This will be his 4th on it, whereas all of Team Liquid so far can go to that bottom lane, where Sneaky and Smoothie have just been crushing this split.
Yeah, and Corki actually the pick here. So Reapit and Jensen talking for quite a long time, but with that, kind of eliminates most of the possibilities for Vladimir going elsewhere, so likely Jensen's mid laner there. And Tarek actually banned away. We heard this again from the analyst desk. Olleh's most played champion this split, so easy takeaway.
Yeah, see if they continue things like Tom Kent, Braum in those bans.
Alistar as well, also available. Both these supports very good on that champion.
Smoothie is particularly good on that champion. And the Varus ban is interesting. The Kalista is still up. The Varus is the counter to the Tristana in lane. We saw it a lot at the beginning of Worlds, but then it fell off as people just said, okay, Tristana's just flat out better in the late game. And we'll see if they ban Kalista. But Kalista kind of gets countered by Tristana because Tristana just outtrades her with the explosive charge.
Don't have time to put all those spears in as Tom Kent is the ban there from Cloud9. So pretty heavy target here on Olleh. 3 support bans total. If you look at Liquid's early Rakan ban also.
Yeah, it looks like Team Liquid want to win the bottom side of the map very heavily using their entire team and trying to give a weaker pick over to Sneaky so he can't be lane dominant or shove the wave and kind of have a non-interactive lane.
That is a good way to win bot lane. 5 people down there, or at least assisting as Kalista nice calls Irene is the second marksman ban there for Team Liquid. So if you're Cloud9, I mean, maybe just take a support here if you want priority there. Kind of depends on what you're thinking to round out this draft.
Yeah, Braum, Shen, also have Alistar. If you think Alistar is what they'll take on Olleh's side, I definitely think you take it here because Smoothie is so good on that champion.
Yep, and again, already know what's up on the Liquid side for marksman, so Sneaky just going to get some time. Maybe it's conditional again. Something like Ezreal is very safe. There's a lot of engage rounding out Liquid's comp. Maybe something a bit harder scaling. Kog'Maw, I know, has seen a lot of attention usually on the ban list, but is up here. There's the easy Braum pick there for Olleh. I'll see what Liquid's final pick is here. Jungler is required. Xmithie is playing. It's probably Gragas.
Gragas is actually really good into Skarner as well, and I only know this because Captain Flowers will rage when there's a Skarner against him, when there's a Gragas against his Skarner. He's just like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Feels bad.
Oh, looks like Smoothie's having some fun. Let's see what Sneaky does want to take. He's looking over. He's like, hey, buddy, want to play this pain?
Well, for the 80 carry position, the Ezreal makes the most sense in terms of pick priority, and it's rather safe.
Yeah, certainly important. And Liquid have shown so much willingness to be aggressive there in the bot lane. But certainly has been curious to watch how strong both of these duos have looked there. Curious to see if Sneaky and Smoothie can have as much success with a pretty passive 2v2. And like you said already, Liquid's plan has been pretty transparent from the first picks of the draft. They just want to slam this bot lane as hard as they can.
Because the bottom lane has been doing so much for Cloud9. We talked about how a lot of the pressure from these teams originates from mid as a pivot, but Sneaky and Smoothie have been able to create pressure on their own, where Smoothie's roams that come out at very odd times. They've gotten the first turret very quickly and swapped Licorice out of unfavorable matchups and just given him free farm in another lane as they take the next turret. So Cloud9 have had a lot of their action spawn from the bottom side, and TL are trying to lock them up, say, you have to have Doublelift play Sneaky in lane, and see what that looks like.
And that's important, of course, for both these teams, even though they kind of approach the game after that in pretty different ways and use their bot lanes for different reasons. They had fantastic early games, both of these teams. And only one team can win the early game. So either one team is winning, and likely they'll be the winner, or have an even game and see something even more different from these two teams. So a lot on the line here, a lot to look forward to as Liquid takes on Cloud9.
The battle at the top, the clash of the two titans right now. And there is a lot of history between these two teams.
Certainly so. We'll move ourselves into our second game of today. Did not think I would see 2 games and 2 Skarners, but welcome to week 4 of the LCS.
I mean, he's high win rate in solo queues, like 54% plus. Pretty ridiculous, but the stun that he brings, the suppression that he brings to the table is just so potent. But he's up against a team, once again, where I don't think it's going to be, you know, Skarner's day out.
We'll find out, I suppose, as teams are fanning out here at level 1. Looks like no tricky invade just yet coming forward. See if TL do want to get some of that vision down. Just on the Vlad, doesn't eat a parlay. Impact collects the bonus gold from the Relic Shield.
I like this from Impact because he swapped out. It's not a Kleptomancy, it's just a Relic Shield plus a Grasp of the Undying. So he'll get a little bit more HP, and it's a little bit more sustained plus damage. So this is more of a ranged matchup. You get to kind of trade back and forth instead of going for, hey, I get to kind of turn the enemy laner into a pinata and take gold out of him.
Ooh, actually a collapse here onto Olleh. Jensen just going to get some damage down, but again, bit of money there for Sneaky off his Mystic Shot and Klepto. But nothing overly aggressive as Smoothie and Sneaky will secure that first little relic. Bit of bonus gold here And you know, while we're here in the bot lane, it's actually pretty important to talk about just how successful Cloud9's bot lane has been. Again, you don't expect, especially with Relic Shield overheal, which is how we started this metagame, that Sneaky, especially in lane, would be this dominant. But Cloud9 have just been so good, Zyrene.
They have been incredibly good in terms of pushing from the bottom side of the map. We have this stat called forward percentage, which is the amount of time in the first 15 minutes that you spend on the enemy side of the map. And Smoothie and Sneaky are #1 in their positions, with Smoothie spending about 51% of his time past the middle point of the river. 51%. That means he's spending more time in the first 15 minutes on the enemy side of the map than his own. And remember, you gotta shop, you gotta run back to lane and all that. But Smoothie really does kind of live in the enemy jungle and live past that halfway point.
Yep, he's been roaming as well. So you have to think very impressive stuff. You can just see over 50 is insane for this stat. And it's not just like, oh, he's first, but like the next guy below him is pretty good. It's like first by a mile.
It's first by a mile. Of course, the second place guys are Doublelift and Olleh in that statistic, but it's not anywhere close to that because those are ridiculous percentages.
In general, landing stats have been great for both these two. Right now, early push in the hands of Sneaky and Smoothie, though. Able to get that early level 2.
And another thing that happened was Skarner got a leashless top side of the map, so you didn't have to kind of leash for him on the bottom side as the duo, so they got position in lane so that they could push up.
We'll have a check in here with another strong matchup here. Jensen and Pobelter. Pretty passive as far as the actual champion matchup goes. Pobelter looking for the flick, doesn't land it. Jensen, again, just trying to farm up safely on the Corki. That's kind of your job, really. Just don't get hurt too much.
Yeah, get some items. He does have the teleport and the fleet footwork, and Xmithie actually sees that red buff is down, but he won't know exactly which side the Skarner rotated to. Just knows that he's not on this side currently. The bottom lane has to watch out.
Great bit of burst there onto Jensen.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, the level 4 dragon here for Svenskeren.
It's the 5 camp jungle clear.
For the 5th camp's the dragon.
Yeah.
Svenskeren getting a little low here, but here's Smoothie roaming over to help him out. Svenskeren!
He's got a smite. He's got a smite.
All right, he's good. Smites it down, and that's enough pressure. Teal instantly pinged the missing in the bot lane, but it doesn't matter. Ezreal secures another Infernal Drake.
He definitely needed help there, but because the bottom lane had so much pressure, they were able to reinforce him. So everybody kind of playing around Svenskeren in the jungle. That route helped out the bottom lane, and then they give back with the Infernal Dragon take.
And I don't know if they had info or it was just a really good guess, but Xmithie was on the absolute correct side of the map for C9 to make that play. So whether it's preparation or just a good bit of intuition, really smart stuff early from Cloud9's bot side.
The jungle's just become very static, where the bottom lane leashes for the bottom jungle camps. It's the fastest leash because you don't do like Krugs by yourself or anything like that as the bottom laner. And the top lane really just wants to be in lane. So I like that Cloud9 shook it up and had a leashless topside jungle with the Skarner because he can do that on his Raptors and red buff with the help of the Spire.
Licorice and Impact, trading blows back and forth.
No more mana for Impact though, so I actually think he loses this battle in the top lane. It's one of the frustrating things about Vladimir is you can get him low, but then you don't have enough mana to really kill him. You he kind of taxes your mana pool, or he damages your mana over time until you don't have enough to really kill him because he just sustains through it. And then you have to back up and then TP to the top lane like we see Impact doing right now up against the guy that had to replace him because he left Cloud9.
And you can see Licorice up a pretty healthy amount of CS. In fact, already TP'd back down, but one of Impact's really good traits as a player to me is how good defensively he is. You kind of noted with the rune choices, he's kind of knowing how tough the matchup can be, but Impact is a great player at absorbing pressure, and if he ever gets leverage on you and is able to get a lead, it's usually lights out, even in a tank matchup.
Yeah, and Impact has been playing more bruisers lately. His last few champions, he's been going for things like the Gnar, the Camille, the Gnar, the Gangplank, the Vladimir himself, where these are more bruisers, these are champions like the mages. It's not those straight up tanks like the Ornn or the Maokai that he's known for. And it was one of his weaknesses for a while where he wasn't as good on the Camille and whatnot. So we'll see how he does up against Licorice, who is a specialized bruiser player and it's kind of a carry top laner.
Smoothie back in again onto bot lane, but Doublelift and Olleh avoiding a lot of that pressure. Sneaky up 10 CS currently, so looking good early on. But we'll see how the lanes develop. It does seem like that forward percentage is going to continue to go up here for Cloud9's duo.
And right now, it looks like Xmithie on the top side, Pobelter went towards the top side to clear some vision, and he's level 6. But the Skarner's on the bottom side here. Is Svenskeren going to hit 6 off this camp?
Going to get interrupted, which might be part of the issue. Sven was spotted there by the bot lane of Team Liquid, so a good bit of reconnaissance done there by Doublelift and Olleh. And Svenskeren decides, you know what? I'm just going to leave this area for now and go grab my last camp elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, TL, their bottom lane, actually not doing that hot in this 2-on-2. Sneaky in lane, doing well against Doublelift here. 12 CS up for Sneaky, plus all the Kleptomancy on top of that. He's going to back and get Tier and Sheen at 6.5 minutes.
Really strong buy there for Sneaky. It looks like that first back has come out. Already, as soon as you said C9's bot lane is back, guess who I look for? It's Smoothie, who's already booking up towards the top lane with Moby Boots done.
Smoothie does this so much where he's going to throw you off by going for a gank on the top side. He's like, Impact, remember you left the team.
Oh no, the revenge story. Smoothie goes in, he finds the combo. Teemo Plague down, they might just go straight for the dive. Flash order there for the stun. Teemo Plague down, Licorice just needs a little bit more to get it. And first blood over to Vladimir.
Licorice gets the kill onto Impact, and C9 are off to the races with the help of the roam from Smoothie, who seriously has been having such a good split.
And it's just so tough. How do you know where he's going to go? You can say he's missing. I can see where he is, but I can see the whole minimap.
Yeah, and that is what I love, is when supports mix it up. This means Sneaky has to play by himself on the bottom lane, but they got a better back timer. So you see Doublelift and Olleh are backing right now because they're just going to buy items. They can't match this type of play. Impact has to flash to get away from this. And then Smoothie flashes for the stun right on point too. And they pick him up.
Yep, Smoothie tanks about as many turret shots as he could afford. He was one away from going down. So very clean play there from Cloud9, up 1,000 gold as Smoothie gets himself back down to the bot lane in time to help Sneaky continue that lane. Jensen in the meantime going to grab that blue buff, and despite the pressure Pobelter was putting on here in the mid lane, continuing to shove up, Jensen able to stay pretty even on farm.
Well, right now, Cloud9 are actually winning in farm in every single lane and the jungle on top of it because of the fact that they've just been having so much pressure and pushing their enemy. This right here is TL not winning that laning phase early. You see they are down 800 gold.
And this is kind of one of the other things we didn't talk about as much, but falls into the same principle as when C9's bot lane gets ahead, he helps out their top lane. This time was very literal help. Smoothie went to the lane to give Vladimir first blood, but all this pressure just leaves room for Smoothie to either do something else or Licorice when the lane swap around to just get that farm. So Cloud9, to me, have just done such a great job of seamlessly integrating a rookie top laner into the LCS with some of the best top lane competition we've ever seen.
And I've got to say, Licorice has been impressing, but at the same time, we talked about it where the bottom lane really does allow this to happen. It's hard to judge where Licorice is in terms of how good he is. We know he's good, but how good? Because he doesn't always have to play his matchups for long because the bottom lane will swap him out, and he gets a ton of help from his support, like we just saw.
Well, on the other side for TL, still pretty close, remember? Haven't fallen too far behind, and should be trusting in the next major move they could make. We have the globals ready for both GP and Taliyah, although Impact ulti is just cooling down.
And Jensen has package right now, and he's shoving up the mid lane after he's already purchased. So Jensen could potentially make a move in the next few seconds, whether it's top, which it might be. You have Flash Skarner ulti. Of course, GP can get out of it, but then if the Corki comes too, could be party on Impact. Trying to get him back.
Do have TPs as well. Svenskeren just hanging out. Yeah, TL's like, I don't really want our top laner to get dove. In fact, playing back respectfully towards his turret. As Jensen still playing up in the lane, just packages down. I imagine that one was running out.
Yeah, when it's running out, you just kind of time it for the minion wave. It's a little early though, but Sneaky's gonna take some of the farm from Jensen.
Steals some minions away from Jensen.
We're saying Jensen's, not as selfish.
Willing to play more for his team. Give Sneaky 2 caster creeps. He's a change man. It looks like Doublelift and Olleh, with the BF sword especially, able to get a little bit more work done here, starting to shove in the right direction for them. But Sneaky still, again, great back timing here, building up that CS, getting those Klepto procs. Everything going according to plan here, but we're going to have to keep watching. I mean, those turrets especially, both these teams have been so good at taking down the outer ring.
Yeah, right now, the average for Cloud9, and they're the fastest that take the outer ring of turrets. They've taken all 3 of them in all 6 of their games, and taken it the fastest at about 22 minutes and 38 seconds, whereas TL averaged 23 minutes and 39 seconds, just a minute and 1 second later. So these are the 2 teams that really push the tempo of their games once they get a turret down. But right
the Svenskeren, boom! In onto Pobelter. Damage maybe not there enough. Pobelter forced to flash away. Still all spent. Great stasis. Smoothie here again, of course. He's going to headbutt Xmithie away, taking a little too much damage. Smoothie still with the ulti, but Pobelter survives that one, just not quite synchronized.
Yeah, the fact that Svenskeren flash ulti, got the flash out of Pobelter, didn't get the heal, it's still going to help Jensen with his pressure and dissuade Pobelter from really leaving that lane with Taliyah wall unless it's a really good one and it's a prime opportunity to do so.
Sneaky's like 1v2ing right now. They got a little low from those Mystic shots. Licorice also playing up. Ooh, big damage on the impact.
Great back. Give me that HP. You give me that HP.
Good by Olleh's recall. Sneaky with a snipe there in that brush.
That actually hurts a lot,
yes.
Especially with this coming out.
C9 just trying to take this Drake exactly. With Pobelter having pressure down. Has ultimate though on Taliyah, so can make it if he wants to. Xmithie also looking for a steal, but no vision right now. A little bit from the barrel. Cloud9 being patient, actually pull off. That's a fake though. Really smart stuff from Cloud9. Gonna get themselves Drake number 2.
Slow and steady. Cloud9, we've seen TL play super fast games with 27 minutes. Right now, their lowest one is 26.5 minutes. But Cloud9, they have controlled games. It's not as erratic where they will make some moves that do work out. It's very calculated and controlled from Cloud9, where they check the odds, say that this is a play that will work out 80% of the time, and they go for it. Reaper forcing them to use their brain.
As the coach preaches, just use your brain.
Brain on today, apparently for C9 so far.
It's funny, after that loss, that was the first thing he said, and since then, so far, so good, although both these teams still are records.
When we talk about that loss for Cloud9, where Reaper was like, all right, you know, guys get refocused. Same thing for TL, though. Hold on, though. Licorice in top side. Protobelt in.
Making it go. Protobelt's good. Hemoplague lands. Licorice line up the solo kill. Top die. Impact goes down.
And you can see Impact frustrated with that, whereas Licorice, the rookie, just solo killed him and is now 2 levels up on Vladimir.
Well, Summoner's down, but the prize collected there for the Vlad. Doublelift steals that blast cone. Iceborne Gold though done for Sneaky. Infinity Edge done for Doublelift, so first item's looking good.
Yeah, looking good so far. Sneaky though up about 200 gold, mostly from Klepto and the CS.
Still pressuring also to Cloud9 kind of make their next moves. Turrets seem pretty healthy. Though Licorice did a lot of damage to this one, is going to force Impact to TP back as well. Even staying around, autos the barrels just so smooth here from Licorice. I mean, if there's someone else here who can look for a dive, Pobelter though fainting towards the left side of the map. As Impact's getting peppered by Qs under turret. Here's Pobelter though.
They know he doesn't have flash, so Licorice, if the ulti comes out, there's no way for him to get past it.
Here's the ulti. Licorice going to have to stand and fight, but with no ultimate, it's going to be a little bit tough. Licorice, he is going to go down and buy some time with the pull. Maybe try and live, but Pobelter snags a kill.
Now they have to watch out for a bottom lane play, potentially. Xmithie is on this side to guard for it, and Jensen's just going to go for mid-priority instead. But Skarner's right there in that Pride Rush, and Doublelift is half HP. This looks juicy for C9.
They're going to find them, but Xmithie gets the jump. Dissuades Svenskeren from getting too aggressive. Jensen with a Triforce not completed. Didn't see when he had it, and he did have TP, so maybe could have joined the top side there. Licorice, though, again, we talked about the brain, turned off slightly there as Pobelter was missing. Able to get a kill back there.
Went too aggressive. Went for a little bit of poke underneath the turret from Licorice onto Impact, where he didn't really have to be there, right? It's one of those things where the rookie does show just a tiny bit, and he gets punished for it. Because when you're playing against one of these top teams, that they get there because they know how to play as a team and integrate everybody. Pobelter ready to pivot and go to that top side and help his team out.
Interesting exchange here, actually. Jensen looking to pick up this turret. He's got Triforce. He does a lot of damage.
It would be first turret.
Gonna swap that over. Sneaky, yep, getting damaged. Good flash though from Sneaky. Burns both summoners to get out there.
Yeah, made sure he doesn't get stunned, but also Xmithie was there to body slam flash and follow it up.
Looks like Jensen trying to collect that bonus gold.
Well, they've traded lanes, right?
Yeah.
You see that the Vladimir is in the mid lane now, just having to deal with the Taliyah, and trying to get Jensen that first turret up against Impact, push him in, and get that gold. Just get Corki to those power spikes.
Yeah.
Randy Force, we talked about his expensive build, wants 3 items. He's already got 1.
A really interesting swap, actually. Haven't seen that one in quite a while. C9 up almost 3,000 gold as a result of that early turret being taken, but TL still holding strong, and Pobelter looking like a real threat in these side lanes as this game is going to be balanced pretty close.
And there's the wave clear from Licorice. You use the Proto Belt just to get yourself out of the lane faster, and Jensen's running straight down the mid.
Yeah, swap back.
Has his Sork shoes and the Kerchi shard with that 2,000 gold advantage that they have. Also has the package now, so play on the table for C9 at the moment.
Just really smart little swap there as Licorice going to return to his lane in top side. Still haven't seen an ulti from Skarner. Seems like something's broken for the ultimates by these Skarners. As Jensen actually...
He got the one on Pobelter.
Oh, that's true.
You gotta wait for that flash. Otherwise, going up against Taliyah, how are you gonna get in there with the W just to knock you away? And look at this Impact.
With
oh, wait.
difficulty. Oh, there's another ult. Okay.
Don't ulti him because he's just going to eat oranges.
Oh, it's a stun, you're right.
Yeah.
From the E. It lasted about as long as the ulti did. I can see where the confusion came from.
Yeah, this happens all the time, though. You're playing Skarner and people haven't seen it in
Oh,
a long
yes,
time.
this is the mind game.
People will like QSS or cleanse the stun because they're just like freaking out. It's like QSS the E. It's like, oh, but I still have this R. A lot of people have no idea what Skarner was doing, even just a few months ago.
That is, I believe, a classic trick in the mind of Mr. Flower, so I'm sure it's glued into today's game regardless, but even happier that Skarner is getting some love today.
Don't want to hear anything about the mind of Mr. Flowers.
Doublelift, oh, getting damage under the top side. Sven going to take down the Rift Herald. C9 again just trying to rush down these turrets.
Mid turret is primed as well. I actually feel like you don't use this mid. You're going to get this mid turret very shortly with the help of Jensen's pressure. And then you use this bottom to crack open all 3 outers.
Yeah, you can see again, though, TL just saying, we want this turret, we need some control back over the map. So they actually move Xmithie down here kind of permanently for the last few minutes.
Yeah, and so Svenskeren is finally matching after getting the Rift Herald and rushing himself down here.
Knowing Jensen has enough pressure to likely take mid solo by itself. Just going to keep moving the waves forward. Has the TP to join if any sort of fight would break out. And Impact is just no pressure right now onto Licorice, who has a Leandry who's actually finished as well. Xmithie instead falls back, takes the red buff, protects Sven back to his jungle to try and farm it out. And Cloud9 are on track to, again, take those turrets nice and quickly. Pobelter, though, fighting there in the mid lane. Flick misses. Here's Licorice, maybe a dive.
It's just all these mechanics here where you're just playing the mind game. Jensen is juking, and then he takes a real juke when he actually sees it come out. It's more reactionary to the Taliyah W popping up as it is trying to predict it.
This
right
is a
now.
dive lineup for C9. Sven, though, going to spot a couple. Licorice roams in. Smoothie here as well. It's a big party here in mid.
Xmithie's going in.
Looking for the ulti. His impact as well. Licorice could be caught. He has his flash. Proto belts first. Pops the Sanguine pull. Gets out. Good flash. Nice ult attempt, though, from Xmithie.
Yeah, really good ult attempt there. And that's going to get the flash out of the Vladimir, which he desperately needs in team fights to flash while he has the E charging up to let it rip on everybody.
Sneaky, though, stay. Did not get the invitation. And gets more damage down here to the bot lane outer turret. Sven is here bot side, taking the Drake. Xmithie, though, going to spot that out. No vision, though, really for TL in that pit. So Sven probably has enough free time to take this. Ward's down again. Sneaky Smoothie trying to keep him out.
Yeah, but Jensen has mid priority. Jensen's going to get there first if they decide to contest it. And Cloud9 have been able to win the top lane with the help of Smoothie, win the bottom lane off their 2-on-2, and they've even had Xmithie run in bottom lane, staying in the lane, and they haven't really lost much as they picked up 3 Drakes this game so far, is what I'm reading at the top.
And they might, again, be that team to break those outer turrets. Sven coming down bot side with the ulti and the Rift Herald. At a minimum, I think his turret's dead. TL need to be careful here.
And it's just systematic from Cloud9. This will be the last outer turret going down.
No help needed. Actually dragged back in. They find Xmithie going to try and take out the initiation. He popped the stopwatch. Smoothie ulted early, but I think he might be caught in the wrong place here. Flashes out very late, but here comes Pobelter. Surfing in. Smoothie does get flicked down. Exhaust onto Licorice as TL fight back. Damage is there. Vlad pops back into stasis. Stopwatch finally broken, but Licorice getting stuck on the other side. Damage is there, but it's not enough to get the kill. Doublelift now the next one to pop as he flashes out of the way.
Ooh, and Licorice lives as well, but everybody's so low on both sides. If somebody can stay and take this turret for Cloud9, then it ends up being a 1 team fight for them. 1 kill going over for a turret is definitely worth it.
Yep, topside pressure as well as the top laners came in, but Licorice had the waves pushing first, so Sneaky should be able to get this done.
That's a super good point, Pastry, because you're missing out on all this CS on the top side on Impact, and it looks like Doublelift is actually swapping the lane, so he's going to pick it up, and that'll starve Impact just a little bit more.
Well, there's the outer ring. Again, 20 minutes 18 for Cloud9 as they continue to keep up that speed.
Yeah, right here, the ultimate from Svenskeren onto Xmithie, but the instant stopwatch on top of the GP ultimate makes it so you see C9's carries can't get in to help Smoothie or Licorice, who have to take the brunt of the damage there. But then Licorice gets a ton of HP back there right before the hourglass, and that helps him survive just barely. 1 or 2 more shots would have made that explosive charge enough to finish him off.
Yep, ton of summoner spells burnt by both sides in the exchange as well. As Smoothie just going to pull this lane. Sven, he's popped the Rift Herald. Probably running out of time there.
Yeah, it's on the top side of the map, and there's no more outers for them to take. They got the last one there at 20 minutes.
The old Shelly slow push, perhaps.
It will mean that you do dictate where TL have to go really shortly.
Give Licorice some time. Good feint by Impact. Doesn't get the last barrel. Impact goes into pool, but Impact not able to follow up. As Cloud9 looking to take over this left-hand side.
Remember, Jat was talking about it, where Cloud9 have taken the first Baron and first Dragon in all of their games, and they've taken all 3 outer turrets fastest. Their early game is crisp, and this does not look like TL are going to be setting a new record today for fastest game time.
Maybe not. It'd be quite miraculous if it did happen, and C9 instead sieging here in mid lane. Svenskeren shoved back. Good approach there from Sneaky, but not quite enough as Jensen. Ooh. Again, continuing the story. Looks in the gank onto Impact. But back to mid lane now for the farm.
Impact got a chunk onto Licorice, and he's trying to 1v1 him.
Yep, Licorice here, but Jensen already left. Remember, Licorice is going to dance around the barrel. Healing is massive. TP'd up from Cloud9. Protobot back in. Has the Q. Flash auto. Going to go in there. The Empower Q's almost done up, but Licorice is a little bit more. Takes him down. Jensen and Pobelter now. Their 1v1 starts. Seismic shove not there. Pobelter just a little too low. Licorice already there. There's the alley-oop. Jensen gets his kill on his lane opponent.
Cloud9 are popping off across the board. Their solo laners, their bottom lane, everybody is just doing so well. And Licorice, he got a lead from his team, and he is running away with it.
Certainly is his team. Jensen will look to take down this turret. Top side, Svenskeren knocked around.
TP flank.
Buster shot there. Here's the TP flank. Popping out is Licorice. Turret goes down to Jensen. Sven still fighting. Into the double if the stun lands. Not even needed. Sven actually takes down double. Another Baron on Olleh. Oh, that's going to take him down. The Ignite's not enough, but Sneaky looking to take down Xmithie. He'll get that kill. And Olleh, he's just trying not to be found.
Baron for Cloud9 after this fight across the board where they've just slaughtered 4 members of TL.
And first Baron, they will keep those stats alive, Zyrene. No chance for contest. Xmithie dead for 20 seconds. And Cloud9's gold lead is getting well out of hand.
TL have just been smashing in their games in 27, 26 minutes in last week. The game they lost to 100 Thieves was a long one, 46 minutes. The one time they didn't win the early game, and they weren't winning the early game here. And you can see Impact feels good about his advantage. Chases after Licorice, who has an item CS advantage and level advantage. Flashes after having that summoner spell advantage as well. And that is just a 1v1 that Impact, he got fooled by the amount of HP that the Vladimir had.
And Pobelter tried to find his own way around. Jensen just goes in, uses his flash for the kill. And then this, a cross-map play here from Licorice right after that kill.
Yeah, they're trying to make a play on this 3-on-3 here. It's not a numbers advantage for TL, but it ends up being a numbers advantage for Cloud9 with the teleport from Licorice here. You see Svenskeren flashes after Doublelift. His old teammate gives him the stun, and then they pick it up.
Cloud9 pretty much won every single lane in that last exchange. I think that led them to the Baron. And with that buff, they will shove down their 5th turret of this game. Jensen took bot tier 2, he'll take mid tier 2. Now it's just that top one left. Wave's already there pressuring.
We are at 24.5 minutes, and it is an 8,000 gold lead, 9,000 gold lead for Cloud9.
What was the fastest game of this split again? Cloud9 about to steal Team Liquid's record?
I don't know, it's 26 minutes.
All right, that's very unlikely.
26-28 was the last game that Team Liquid played.
All right, I'm going to very much doubt the game will end in a minute and a half, but boy, oh boy, Cloud9 are making a run.
Cloud9's average game time is up there at 40 minutes right now. They have been very methodical about how they close these games, and they have been punishing TL's openings and also the mistakes that they make in the early game. We saw them just be aggressive there. That was TL doing a classic aggressive, let's not lose slowly move, and Cloud9 were able to punish it because this rookie Licorice has just been doing work. So much kill participation in this game, the highest on his team, and it's really been focused around him as Impact has been shut down, almost 60 CS down.
Yep, we're close to 10,000 gold ahead as well for Cloud9 as they try and break these inhibitor turrets and push this game ever closer to another victory for them. Team Liquid gonna need some real good defense.
And right now, you see Xmithie swapped over to have Exhaust for a team fight here. Svenskeren has swapped over to the Ghost. They aren't looking at neutral objectives, they're looking at a fight.
Not yet, Sven though.
Ooh, it's
He actually...
Wow! Svenskeren got hit by a Taliyah W and Xmithie's ultimate, and he didn't go over the wall.
Well, turret goes down as a result. Licorice again back in the pool, just trying to keep this pressure going. Licorice actually knocked back Dim, but he's pretty tanky with his sustain. He might even turn it back around. He knows Pobelter gonna try and get the damage done. Hemo play burns him down. Licorice, oh my god, he lives! The takedown actually enough. He's back in the pool. Jensen took down the inhibitor. It's just everything going wrong for Team Liquid.
Licorice is going insane this game. Definitely a value pickup.
Well, well, well. Cloud9 going to take down this mid-tier 2, a mid-inhibitor turret, excuse me. And the inhibitor goes with that. TP back as well. Just the pressure keeps going.
They want to do what TL's been doing to others. 27 minutes looks like where they're trying to end this game.
Yep, not going to get the record, but going to make it close. Smoothie with the initiation of the turret. Pulls one back in, it's Olleh. Very vulnerable, gets snapped down by Jensen. And it just keeps going. Liquid.
But Pobelter is down for 8 more seconds here. He's the big wave clear as they're taking out this Nexus turret.
Smoothie trying it again. Licorice again, threatening impact, tanking turret hits. Nexus turret goes down. Pobelter's back, but Olleh dead for 20 seconds still.
They may back off, and there they go.
All right. A slight bit of breathing room for Team Liquid, but Cloud9 gonna have one hell of a Baron power play.
Oh yeah, they got so much of the base. 2 inhibitor turrets, 2 inhibitors, plus that Nexus turret, and even more to boot. And this might be that Ocean Drake on top. Triple Ocean for Cloud9.
Yeah, imagine what would have happened if it'd been 3 Infernals. Instead, they'll take the first one they get. They'll take that Drake count to 4 and just strip the map of objectives.
I mean, the Ocean helps them so much there too. They got to stay in the base because of double Ocean for so long. Triple Ocean is going to help them close this game out here. As you see, Smoothie just goes in for the play here onto Olleh. Svenskeren also picks him up with suppression and they drop him down. Cloud9 playing in sync today. They got a small advantage and they're just running away with the game. And they are up 13,000 gold right now.
And again, in the same manner, they've just looked so clean in the mid to late game here. Just methodically picking apart Team Liquid, punishing their expected aggression in spots where they're down. And this is the result of a team that's just snowballed this game well out of control. Liquid didn't win the last game. That was a long one. This one might be a bit shorter, and it is going to be tough to pull all the way back from this disadvantage.
And this is just insane, because there has just been this narrative around TL building up. They're smashing people quickly. They are completely surging up the standings. With Cloud9, it's not as fancy, it's not as crazy, and they are controlled. And right now they are showing that their quality here in this game, this ends up being a win for them, which it looks like it is heading that way.
Doesn't have to be as flashy, it just has to be effective.
To get #1.
And we asked the question, TL, what do you look like when you fall behind in the early game? Apparently this.
Well, it happened versus 100 Thieves, and they weren't able to recover. Here against Cloud9, it's looking pretty drastic.
An even tougher recovery, I'll have to say. C9 just such good map play more than anything else.
Yeah, a lot of that stems from Smoothie, but we are seeing Licorice get multiple solo kills this game onto Impact. And Impact, we talked about his weakness on Bruisers. He has not been shining on those champions as much as tanks, and they first picked this GP for him.
Yep.
But it looked like Licorice, the guy who's been playing the Kled, been playing the carries, an apt replacement.
Well, Pobelter, you just saw his health melt away. That's because Jensen has 4 damage items already.
Yeah, he's rolling in money now.
It's kind of the story of the game for Cloud9. Sneaky trying to bust down this last inhibitor turret. Smoothie's in. Hello, alley-oop. Good by Olleh. That's the Braum. You have Doublelift pulled back in. Suppressed by Sven. There's the double for the Corki. Jensen might just say, hey, I'm going to try and grab a couple more. Licorice going to dive in the ace. We're going to be completed by Cloud9. Smashing Liquid's Nexus turret. Smoothie back in. Gets the double pull. Tanks the fountain laser. Jensen still peppering shots into the fountain.
30 minutes on the clock, Cloud9. They're going to end it versus TL.
Smoothie throws his hands in the air. Licorice going to dive back in. They're going to try and get the ace. Pobelter, the only one left alive, dancing around the Nexus.
Wait, they want it.
Say, going to chase you down. Jensen wants it. The Nexus dies. Before it can happen, a systematic destruction as Cloud9 claim first.
It was clean, it was clear, and it was Cloud9. And you can see Impact. Devastating.
Brutal match up there in the top lane. Smoothie started the snowball, and Licorice just pushed it straight down the hill.
That was a game for Licorice's career.
Certainly was. Corki is turning more than a few heads here as Cloud9 will briefly move into sole possession of first. We said Liquid, a tough schedule this weekend. They play Echo Fox tomorrow, the other team that tied them moving into the weekend. Had a chance to sweep it and take first instead. They'll have to see if they can tie it up depending on Cloud9's result tomorrow.
They also have to shake off this loss. This is a 30-minute loss where it's not one of those games where somebody is kind of doing well in one lane, you get to play around them. Every single lane lost, got pushed in, and they have to recover from this for tomorrow.
You can see consoling former Cloud9 member Impact. Excellent player, but rough stuff there.
And Sneaky wanted to win, saying, you know, Impact, you made the wrong choice. An Impact right there. I've never seen him like that.
Big smile on Licorice's face there as well. Looks like he's probably getting a scolding for the death in top lane by Reapid. But apart from that, an excellently played game by the rookie. And again, Cloud9, we asked if they could continue the trend of how they have won. I thought they would because their style has just looked so clean, but to do it against Liquid in this fashion, that's something else. That's another level.
That's when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. What's it going to look like? And today, Cloud9, the immovable object, was able to hold its ground, bounce back, and then push them down. And it was really a pleasure to watch.
And I think we have to go all the way back. We talk a lot about Licorice, but back to that bot lane. I mean, if you ask me, Sneaky and Smoothie stats, I'd say they've been looking really good, but I would not tell you they'd do that against Doublelift and Olleh.
Yeah, and that's what's absurd about it, because this is a team-wide strategy. Svenskeren starts topside. Smoothie and Sneaky get to push bottom lane level 1, get level 2 first, get level 3 first. Then they get to have better back timings, have more gold. Then they get their next back timing, which Smoothie gets to rush Moby Boots, runs straight towards that top lane, starts affecting the entire game and not just the lane. Well,
with that, we are going to send it down to Olive Martini and Cloud9's Crimson Killer in the top lane.
Thanks, Pepsi Cola. Licorice, my goodness, you played completely out of your mind. What happened this week to allow you to perform today?
Well, actually, we had a pretty rough week of scrims coming into this, so I was actually super nervous going into today's game, but thankfully played pretty well, and we came out with a win.
It was a big matchup for Cloud9, especially battling for first place, but more specifically for you. You were charged with going against the person who you were basically supposed to replace on Cloud9. So what was the matchup and what was the game? What did it mean for you?
So it's a matchup that I've been kind of like thinking about ever since I joined Cloud9, like playing against Impact. I'm gonna have to go against him eventually. And obviously I don't wanna like let my team down. So like I wanna show them that they didn't downgrade by getting me and that we can do like just as well this year. So it meant a lot to me and it feels really good to have won that game.
Was there any support or words of wisdom that came from your teammates going into this?
Not really, just play well, you know? Like no like secret weakness that Impact has or anything, but just play well, yeah.
Looking at the bigger picture, there was a lot of community focus on the top lane meta. Asking you, what's your personal opinion on the state of top lane?
As far as solo queue, I think it's totally fine. I think that a lot of people like to complain about it, but personally, I don't have any issues with it. You can play like almost anything, and while like it might not be the most impactful role in solo queue, at least, like it's still fun. You can play whatever, so I don't have any problems with it.
Now, I last spoke to you during week 1. It was your first or second win, I think, out here. Now, what has changed for you going from week 1 to this week?
I don't know, just getting more comfortable on stage, I guess. Like playing more aggressively, I think, and my team trusts me to do that for the most part. So yeah, just being comfortable, I guess.
Well, congratulations again on your win, Licorice. And for more on the game, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Olleh. A huge performance out of Licorice there against his replacement in Impact to move Cloud9 to 6-1, topping the tables, and a very quick victory up against Team Liquid, the team that's been holding the record for game times.
What a game by Cloud9. And even just starting from the draft phase, right? They send 3 bans towards mid lane, almost expecting the Gangplank pick, and putting so much faith in Licorice to be able to counter with Vladimir and come out on top.
Team Liquid and Echo Fox kind of similar in that regard around GP, where it's like, if you leave it up, I'm taking it, and then the onus is on you to smash main lane, because I will outscale you, and C9 executed on that game plan pretty well about smashing top lane.
Right, limiting the mid pool, allowing that GP to go through, saying we're happy to take Vlad into it, we'll put that focus into the top lane, and we'll put that faith and trust into our rookie here from the top lane to carry.
And as great as Licorice did, C9 all season long have been playing around him. They give him the counter pick, and then they give him the in-game resources as well. This lane was pretty even at this point, and you know, Vladimir doesn't take off till quite around that point, but the perfectly timed roam by Smoothie puts Impact super far behind, and then Licorice can start running away with this on his own.
Yeah, and Impact also wasn't really great about falling back at the right times. He did eventually get some help from Pobelter after Licorice had expended his flash and ultimate in the last fight for this kind of catch-up kill, but the kill goes over to Pobelter, and that doesn't help Impact at all.
Too little, too late at that point, right? You're making efforts to get gold back in, but turrets have already fallen on the map, and it opened up to the point where Licorice can handle himself in that 1v1 in the side lane.
Yeah, and Impact does share some blame for that. We were kind of musing about the first gank when Smoothie came up from River. Like,
he pink warded that bush.
Why were you down there, Impact? Like, you had no, it was the enemy controller that was in that brush, and the wave was pushing, and you couldn't walk up towards Vladimir, so he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, he would have wrapped around anyway.
And the second time, he sees the teleport for 4.5 seconds before deciding to back off and was not in space in time. So Impact definitely has his share of blame in falling behind, but a lot of the credit goes to Smoothie and Licorice for making the lead and making it count.
Right, that pushes us ahead to more side lane action. At least that's where it starts in the side lane at 23 minutes. It'll follow all the way up to the Baron here, 4-0, and that buff.
And just a couple too many missed barrels there. Misses one right in the pool, misses that one as Licorice kites down, and then after that, has to kite out for a long time. The teleport was coming in. That gets canceled out, and Pobelter now is getting baited in as well. He gets cut off, wanting to get that cleanup kill, so he gets caught in this 1v2 situation, has to flash away, and
get him.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Unnecessary. He got the kill.
Flash forward, but and then during this time, they're like, all right, like, we got a 3v3 in the top side. Let's try and force something anyways. But Svenskeren at this point is a pretty tanky boy.
Yeah, Svenskeren had been able to farm up for the duration of the early and mid game, was pretty much the guy who was controlling objectives, wasn't needing to respond to many Gragas ganks, and that's because of how much pressure they had in the top lane. So this is where the game really broke open, because it was about 3,000 or 4,000 before that, and then it was 8,000 plus Baron.
And the thing to note is that C9 kind of kept up their style and grindiness that they were known for. They took all 3 turrets first, they had multiple dragons down already, and then they get the first Baron as well. So that stat is 100% alive for them. Team Liquid did not get another fastest game.
I mean, now the conversation, I feel like, has to go towards, does, Cloud9, in terms of cementing themselves as the top team in the league. Of course, we haven't seen Echo Fox play yet, so we do need to keep our eyes on that squad. But, Cloud9, someone that's kind of been flying under the radar of being a top 3, but not necessarily in the conversation for top 1, has now just solidified that spot.
And it's because their off-season moves are working out so well.
Right.
Like, they're playing around Licorice, and if you remove the nameplate from Licorice and say it's Impact, they're like, wow, Impact's having like a...
He's back into his form.
Best top laner year. Like, he's back in form. They're playing around him. Everything's working great. And the fact that, as you say, first Dragon, first Baron, first 3 turrets in all 6 of their games. And the one question there is they did lose their one game to Echo Fox, the other team that's only on 1 loss. But as far as win quality, it's the best for C9.
C9 looks absolutely amazing. They keep winning drafts, I think it's fair to say, in the sense where it's like, yeah, you want the GP, but that's perfectly, we always want Licorice on some kind of counter pick. They get it again, Smoothie gets Alistar, and at some point it's like, what happens when you start forcing those things to stop being the case? When Smoothie's on something else, and you hold your counter pick for Licorice, and you counter him, how does that go? I'd like to see some more of that.
A great win out of Cloud9. The first time Team Liquid's taking a real devastating loss.
Yeah.
Again, to lose in 30 minutes when you have kind of developed the pattern of beating teams in 30 minutes, how would you like to see Team Liquid rebound towards tomorrow?
I mean, Impact looked like he took that really, really hard, but I think you just need to remember it's a loss to a top team in week 4. You're okay. Focus for tomorrow. Go back, review your VODs. Maybe not even too hard. Like, hey, we kind of got rolled. What do we want to do for tomorrow's games?
On top of all that, I'd like to wish Smoothie a happy birthday as he turns 21 today. Hope you're celebrating tonight. We're stepping away, but when it returns, we've got Optic Gaming versus Counter Logic Gaming. Game 3 is coming up after the break.
Jensen?
Thank you.
Your brain is on or off?
It's on, it's on.
It's on?
Yeah, we're
Sure?
They might just go straight for the dive. Flash order there for the stun. Hemo playing down. Licorice just needs a little bit more to get it.
Licorice in top side, Protobelt in.
Making it go. Protobelt's good. Hemo plague lands. Licorice land another solo kill. Top die. Impact goes down.
Yeah. I'm TP here.
Hey, we should go for Vlad. He's no flash. We should go for Vlad.
Yeah. Ali, no, Alistar no flash. I'm looking for Vlad side.
Vlad no flash.
Vlad. Yeah, I'm like hovering between both.
I might be dead too, though.
Nice. It's fine. Please that.
I'm out.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Smoothie's in. Hello, alley-oop. Good by Olleh. That's the Braum. You have Doublelift pulled back in. Suppressed by Sven. There's the double for the Corki.
30 minutes on the clock, Cloud9. They're going to end it versus TL.
Welcome back to State Farm Assist of the Week. This episode, we have an amazing assist from CLG Biofrost, who flashes into the enemy team for an excellent Glacial Fissure that stops Echo Fox in their tracks.
Oh, nice kickback though, but still 2 kills already. The third gonna come through with the Ren. The chase is in. He's looking for number 4, stick safe, just like in the finals so long ago.